Și încă n-am rezolvat misterul cu pește de la școală, chat.
Back already,
Sack.
Yagamishi. How are you feeling after last night? That shockwave from the blast took you down.
Am că a fost senzație.
That was something else, I gotta say.
I bet, tough guy. Kamurocho's finest detective never fails to impress.
Doc, you made it. We've been asking around if anyone's seen Kuwana.
Cine s-a mai vadă pe Koana?
No leads, huh?
Pretty much. Doesn't help that our K's crawling all over the place right now. Soon as they spot Kuwana, they're gonna make their move.
Da, e PS5 PS4.
Kuwana gave this to me yesterday.
Oh, să vezi să-l dăm lui Hara.
Kuwana-san called you out there just to give you this?
Yep.
Yep. He told me to give it to Ahara.
What the? Oh man, it looks like it's cracked.
Can you take a look at it, Tsukumo? I get the feeling it's
E
no
care
ordinary
ceva stick
pendant.
înăuntru, fii atent.
Certainly.
Not handing it over to Ahara till you know
E
what the deal is?
prescurtare sau
He
poreclă.
won't mind, will he? Besides, I damn near got blown up over that thing.
Speaking of, Yagamishi, what's the status of Ehara's sexual battery trial?
Saori-san's preparing for the appeal. Still no date, but the courts are working as fast as they can. If they accept the case and it goes to trial, they'll find out about Kuwana one way or another.
And that'd put Reiko Kusumoto in public security in the shithouse, right?
Aoleu, da, trebuie să rezolvăm și pe Reiko
Kuwana and his
asta.
murders come to light. Anyone connected to Reiko Kusumoto could be suspected as an accomplice. And if that happens, she'd lose any control she had over the pension fund.
Da, mă, cea, dacă facem Resident Evil să jucăm, da, mai e până atunci.
Everyone wants their own brand of justice to come out on top. But enough is enough. If we don't handle this, public security will take out Kuwana. And I can't let him die like that.
Then
Azi ar trebui
what's your
practic
next
să
move?
apară. Bine,
Gonna
mâine.
head to Ahara's trial and back up Sari-san. Feels like we've come full circle.
I'd argue the opposite, Yagamishi. The circumstances surrounding the trial are completely different this time around. I can't help but consider how grand a task simply seeking the truth could be.
Seriously. But exposing the truth is the only way to save some and get justice for others. We can't just stay quiet and watch.
Sounds like you're seeing the light. Detective work's not so bad, is it?
Gata, cea cu întrebările de jucat jocuri peste 1000 de ani, ok?
Can you guys
Poți
keep
da
an
sub
eye out
Prime?
for
Ba da.
Kuwana and Nijincho? I need to go over Ahara's case with Sari-san.
10-4. We'll amp up surveillance.
We're going too, Sukiura. Time to get shit done.
Let's go, boys.
Right on.
Da, o să încercăm să terminăm data asta. De obicei îți dă opțiunea să dai resub cam în ziua în care ar trebui să-ți ia banii sau ceva de pe care nu știu. Time to prepare for appeal. Dude, acum trebuie să mergem în trebuie să mergem la judecată să vedem dacă îl convingem pe ăla să scoată bobile. De-aia mă scros care o să fie tot deznodămândul ăsta. Adică care o să fie opțiunea. Bine, clar o să să-l batem pe Soma. Probabil va trebui să ne mai batem iarăși cu prietenul nostru Kuwana. Ia să vedem. O tastatură de la QWERTY. QWERTY nu este o firmă, ci este un tip de tastatură. Adică toate tastaturile în general.
Wow, looks like we've got a full house.
Shirosaki-sensei asked me to come by. She said they needed some business handled while you were out of town.
I find it hard to believe she'd put it that way.
Maybe not. Either way, I don't mind helping.
Yagami-san, you're just in time. I think we should conduct another interview with Ahara-san.
Okay, but what will we talk about?
Wow, trebuie să vorbim iarăși cu ăsta?
If we want to claim he's innocent of battery, then we need to prove he's the one who murdered Mikoshiba at the same time.
Ok,
But
dacă
since
îl
the murder footage
convingem.
isn't admissible in court, we need something more substantial.
True.
Basically, we need new evidence. And that might mean something no one's seen or found yet.
So your plan is to meet with Ahara and just ask him?
Probabil.
I know it's a long shot, but yes.
I'd like to come help, but someone has to check Higashi-san's work.
Excuse me? If I have to be Hoshino-kun's lackey, I'm fucking out.
I'd prefer if you addressed me as Hoshino-sensei.
Whoa!
Mouth on this kid.
Ihara only seems to open up to you, Yagami-kun. So, if you talked to him again. Do you think we'll find out something new this time?
I'll see what I can get out of him. Having another chat with him couldn't hurt.
Sounds good. Oh,
So
and
that now
look
she's
after
vorbim de
Sally
notă.
for me, would you?
Sure, but Mafiu, should you even be here? Won't the prosecution think you're double-crossing them?
What do you mean? I am just here to get dirt on the defense. Expect Prosecutor Takano to hear all about it.
Guess we better watch ourselves.
I still have some preparations to make. Yagami-san, why don't you go kill some time?
Oh, adică chiar
I'll
mă
call
duc
you
până
as
pe
soon as
strada
I'm
următoare
ready.
și mă
It shouldn't
întorc?
take long.
Sure thing.
Parcă văd. Ok, let's kill some
I'm going to try
time.
and get in touch with Ihara's wife. Even though they're separated, Ihara may have shared details about Mikoshiba's murder with her. Oh, and Higashi-san will be there to help.
Oh. Ok. Timpul să ieșim afară. Apoi să ne întoarcem. Așa că o să vedem. Nu o să scadă, man, prețul la PS5. Pe geam, trebuia să ieși pe geam. Chat. Nu fiți prăjiți cu reducerile voastre de Black Friday. PS5 e 2500 de lei. Ce vedeți voi la 3300 e bundle.
Sorry for keeping you, Yagami-san.
V-am
You should head
zis.
to the detention center. Where are you?
In Kamurocho, how about I take a cab and pick you up?
If you please, I'll be waiting.
V-am zis, I just kill some time. Ok, am dus pe strada următoare și m-am întors. Gata, easy. Bundle sau scam? No, de obicei dacă sunt magazine prețul ăla e în bundle de scamurile sunt doar pe... Cum se cheamă? Scamurile sunt doar pe OLX. Așa. Tokyo Detention Center. Da, mă, m-am dus la blocul următor. Și că toate că am auzit pe aceea stradă, ia.
Isn't that just the worst? So the murder footage can't be used as evidence.
Yep.
I was hoping it'd be played in court for all to see.
Yeah, and if it was, it would prove your innocence and overturn your battery conviction, no problem. But the prosecution flat out refuses to accept you murdered Mikoshiba. There's no room for error. You could flat out confess and they would refuse to accept it.
Excellent. In the end, they'll lock me up for battery, and I'll get away with murder.
Yeah. We know all about what you and Kwana planned. We just don't have the evidence to prove it.
My condolences.
Wow, dude.
Which reminds me, you said you'd confess to killing Mikoshiba after you got out of prison, right? Then, as icing on the cake, you'd admit the battery charge was false and humiliate the law for letting a murderer walk free.
Exactly. The public must know that the law can't be trusted. Personally, I hope the media hops all over it.
I bet you do. So when that time comes, you'll need some decisive evidence of the murder so your confession holds water. Maybe you've got something like that in your back pocket already?
S-a prins ce vrem noi să facem. S-a prins că vrea să-l facem să scuipe cumva ce evidențe vrea să folosească mai târziu.
Because we'd sure look good if we had some new evidence to take into the appeal.
That's why you geniuses came all the way out here.
Wow, ne-a făcut deștepți.
I told you I wouldn't admit to the murder in court. I have no intention of just handing it over.
Handing it over? So you're saying there is still a piece of evidence we don't know about?
What is it, Ahara-san?
Even if there was, you'll never get your hands on it. Didn't mean to get your hopes.
Cred că e pandantivul ăla. 100%. Cred că e un card SD în pandantivul ăla cu toate conversațiile lor sau ceva chestie ce denotă că el l-a omorât pe ăla. Nu știu.
You left a calling card on Mikoshiba's body, didn't you? Like the way artists sign their own paintings.
You seem to have this refined portrait of me in your head. Think I carved my name into his body?
No.
Not necessarily that.
I mean,
there are other
poate.
things you could leave on a body, aren't there? A fingerprint, a hair, anything really.
Nope.
If your DNA can be extracted from something on the body, it would prove you were at the murder scene.
I don't really see how that's possible. It's
Not
been
true.
2 months. I doubt they'd find anything new on the body. You're imagining.
Yeah, well,
Ok, deci nu e idee bună. The part of the corpse?
maybe it's a piece of Mikoshiba's body. Would you hide something like that?
Well, was he missing any body parts?
No, nothing indicated as such.
Păcat.
Maybe it wasn't a missing body part. Could be as simple as some hair.
Even if it was, that would hardly constitute evidence of Mikoshiba's murder. Hair could have come from anywhere or anyone. That's the extent of what you could prove.
True.
I suppose that.
Damn. E genul ăla de chestie unde mă pune să le pe toate și pe aia îmi dă o ultimă opțiune.
The murder weapon.
Sau?
Kanagawa PD said the weapon used to kill Mikoshiba still had.
Oh, era arma de fapt, stai. Oh.
Yet it appears in the footage without a doubt as to what it is. A knife. If it wasn't found at the murder scene, it's highly likely the suspect or an accomplice took it with them.
Any normal criminal would have just ditched it somewhere. Except you're anything but normal. You got revenge for your son, and you want to publicly humiliate the law for letting you pull it off.
E despre altul. E despre kawaii ăla.
If you were clear to the battery charges and confessed to Mikoshiba's murder without evidence, no one would buy it. You'd need something convincing. Busting out the weapon no one's found yet would do the trick. That one piece of evidence would flip the whole case on its head.
Look at you go. Then tell me, where do you surmise I've hidden this weapon?
În cur.
Well, right after killing Mikoshiba in Ijincho, you would have had to book it to Ikebukuro Station. You had accomplices with you.
And if that's the case, there would have been plenty of time to hide the weapon.
Exact.
Yeah, so that's about as far as I've thought this out.
If that's it, then I'm done here.
Dar zi despre aia!
Kawana's vanished, Ahara-san. Public security found out about him.
Public security?
Da, ăia CIA-ul
Kawana
ăla.
wanted me to tell you he won't make it to the end of your revenge plan.
So, I'm the last man standing, am I? Well, he's already helped me plenty. I never expected to see him again anyway.
At this point, he won't be able to outrun them.
Nu-i pasă.
If public security catches him, he'll get much worse than an unfair trial. Burying him will be the least they do.
Oh shit, stai că...
What do you mean? What's going on?
You remember last time?
Oh.
If you don't recall, I said you'd grabbed a tiger by the tail.
And your tiger is public security?
Yeah.
Right. And they're out there on the warpath. Everything has to be brought into the light. We need what you did to be exposed. Kawana can't be saved in any other way. I need your help, Ahara-san.
Nu o să accepte.
Then you lose.
Fuck!
I'll never admit to killing Hiro Mikoshiba in court. The system can die. It threw Toshiro away, and I won't lift a finger to save it. Kawana-san knew how this could end. We have our convictions. When this started, we knew it could end up costing our lives.
You knew going in, huh? And that's all? Is that what you tell yourself so you can sleep at night?
Yep.
Maybe it is.
Ah. Bitch.
Yagami-san,
Oh?
do you remember my original request to look into both the Hara incidents?
Da.
I asked you to look into the train event, and then I asked you to look into Hiro Mikoshiba's murder.
Așa.
And now, I'm afraid I have to make one more request of you.
Oh.
Do you still carry your defense attorney's lapel pin? At Ahara-san's trial, I'd like you to take the floor with me to defend him.
Oh my god, iar vrea să fim
It's going to
avocați?
be eventful. I think we should go as a team.
Holy shit.
Sure about that?
Iar o să jucăm ca avocații, man.
You know, my legal counsel isn't cheap.
I'll let Genda-sensei know about the invoice.
Oh my god.
You got it. Count me in. You never know when something like this will happen. Check it out. I always have it on me.
I know that.
Huh? You do?
Da, mă mir că n-a pierdut chestia aia. Prin câte am trecut, m-aș fi gândit că ar fi pierdut-o deja de 100 de ori. Miram aș. Bă, dar întrebarea bună e, noi facem bani din toată treaba asta sau sal? There are plenty, this is going to be pretty intense, save the game. Ok, deci acum chiar urmează finalul final, boys. Hello?
Hello.
Doc, where are you at right now?
Just got back to Yokohama, actually. You weren't spying on me, were you?
You just noticed? Everywhere you went, I know about it. And I mean everywhere.
Where are you right now?
Over at the Leomong's place. Hoshino-kun and Higashi are here too.
What the fuck?
Right. They mentioned they were going to Yokohama to see a hard.
Ah, da, bă, că mergem să o vedem pe nevasta lui ăsta.
I need a full report. I don't want to hear you were slacking.
Well, look at you taking charge. Anything else, boss?
Yeah, don't drag your feet along the way.
Ok. Da, și mie mi se pare funny că n-am găsit gear tot jocul aproape.
Looks like the gang's all here.
Everyone but the star of the show.
That is next level ass kissing, Hoshino-kun.
A good ass kisser is a good communicator.
Welcome back, Yagami-san.
Grab a seat, Doc.
Deci, care-i planul, băieți?
Nice. So you're really gonna stand in court again?
Yep.
Just to give Sari-san some support.
Ah, I see. Does that mean I don't need to be present for Ahara-san's appeal?
Huh? How would I know? Isn't that more of a Sari-san question?
If Yagami's there, I don't see why you gotta be. You're on thin ice, Hoshino-kun. You still gonna have a job if you're redundant.
I have been plenty useful. At least a little.
Săracu.
Should a lawyer
E pe
really have
copium.
to say that? This guy is kind of a rookie, huh?
Săracu Hoshi, noi pe copiu masiv.
The lawyer on notice.
Well, that's all I got. How about you guys?
Ia hai să vedem ce informații luăm la toți. Unde-i Kawana?
So where's Kawana? Any word on where he's hiding?
Yeah, about that.
Nu știu nici ei.
We must have asked everyone in Eugene show, but we got nothing.
RK's out there looking for him too. You seem to think I've still got him under watch.
On the flip side, that means they still haven't found him either.
Well, yes, although that's not much consolation.
True.
Think Kawana-san's still in one piece after the explosion?
No, Kawana s-a dus, e ok.
Alive? Yes. Unharmed? I can't say. When I saw him, he was already making plans to disappear. But the real problem is what happens next. Now that he knows Reiko Kusamoto betrayed him, we don't know Kawana's next move.
True, s-ar putea
I'd
să
never let
răzbune.
that slide if I were in his shoes. Maybe Kawana's thinking the same thing, you know? He spent all that time underground brooding and shit. Maybe he's really gonna stick it to Reiko Kusamoto.
Yeah, I could definitely see that.
Ok, alte informații.
Oshinoku, Higashi, you two met with Ahara's wife?
Chiar că.
Yeah, but we didn't gain much from it.
Ah.
Turns out Ahara and his old lady don't really keep in touch. After her son took his life 4 years back, she refused to keep living under the same roof.
RIP.
Only reason she hasn't divorced him is because it's too much of a pain to process.
Nah.
She's been living in that same apartment even when Toshiro-kun was still alive. She let us light some incense on his altar, but she was pretty vacant the whole time.
Săraca.
Did Ahara's battery charge come up at all?
Nu
She
chiar.
said she didn't care.
She didn't care her husband was out there groping women and killing bullies?
Yep.
Has she even seen Mikoshiba's murder footage?
She doesn't care.
According to her, no.
Really? That's hard to believe.
Da, îți dai
Well,
seama că
there's
nu te
no easy
pasă.
way to put it, but it felt like she'd given up on everything.
Oh my god, era
Made for a pretty
moartă pe
depressing
interior.
trip, I'll tell you that.
Damn. Ok, și RK, care-i schema?
What's the word on RK coming down to Eugene show?
Everywhere you look, they're strutting around like they own the place. And they know our faces, too.
Shit.
They stare us down, but never get too close. It's fucking annoying.
Plus, they're acting like they're here to stay. They've been harassing the joints we have ties with.
Harassing how?
Cere
You
bani?
know, shit like pretending to be normal customers and dine and dashing or complaining to mess with business. Then another guy will come in and be like, need protection? And suddenly they're charging a fee.
Ah, vor
That's some
taxe de
Yakuza
protecție
shit
direct.
right there.
Old shit, too. A Yakuza who pulls that today is out in one shot under the anti-gang laws.
And Soma? Is he still around town?
Nu cred că l-au văzut.
Nah, there's nothing on him. Even if he is, he probably went underground by now. And Soma isn't exactly a social butterfly like Akutsu. Finding him's gonna be a pain in the ass.
True.
Especially if he has public security's help. Unless it's a life or death situation, I doubt he'll show his face.
Ok. M-a aflat tot ce era important. Ia să vedem ce rezumat tragem.
Seems so. As for me, I think I'll head out and see what I can find out about Kawana-san.
Same. I just hope he's okay.
Ne, eu nu. Sincer, nu pasă de Kawana atât de tare.
Tsukumo-san and Sugiura-san do some impressive work.
Yeah. You don't hold a candle to them, Hoshino-kun.
Oh my god, ce
Black
răi
belt in
sunteți cu
karate,
el.
You never even use it.
Stai, ce?
Well, I'm just more of a behind-the-scenes
Are-
kind of guy.
Are centura neagră.
Anyway, I'm heading back
Karate.
to Kamurocho. Enjoy yourself, Higashi-san.
Wow! Omul meu, Hoshino. Centură neagră în Karatsu.
Wanna call it a night? Tesso said he'll let us stay if you do.
No skin off my back, really.
So, what'll it be?
Yeah, stay the night.
If I can really stay the night, I'll take him up on that.
Da, e clar, dacă apare Soma într-un cadru pe aici, clar cineva o să moară. Oh well. Now what? Make preparations. Cum ar fi? I mean, o să mă duc pe la ăsta. Gear există în joc. Da, mă, dar e gear atât de puțin și atât de random pus.
Tsukumo-kun, Yagami-san's here.
Plus că nu-ți dă ceva senzațional.
Yes, it's about the pendant Kawana-san gave you.
Oh?
Turns out it was just a decoy after all.
Oh.
Decoy? For what?
For what was inside. This.
Bă, e mai mare decât
Cracks in
pendantul în
the pendant
sine.
were hiding an SD card, and on it was some video data.
Video data?
Dude, what the
What
fuck?
exactly?
Cum am căput cardul ăla în pendantul ăla atât de mic? Pendantivul ăla atât de mic.
It's the footage of Ihara murdering Hiro Mikoshiba, just like we saw before. No additional scenes.
Dar?
That doesn't make sense. Why would Kawana put his life on the line just to give me that? I mean, RK came after him and everything. And all for a video that's already all over the internet?
Yes, except the video on that card is the original. All the others were copies of this source.
Și cu ce mă ajută asta?
In layman's terms, this is the master tape. Or in film, it'd be the negative. With no additions or modifications of any kind.
Ah, ok.
What do you mean? And how do you know for
Deci asta
sure?
putem să o folosim în,
So
în
this SD
judecată.
card here is a special little thing. You can't usually buy it in stores. It's called a worm, or write once, read many. If you were to take a picture with a digital camera, the images saved on this SD card couldn't be edited or deleted. It's what forensics teams use when photographing crime scenes. Which means what we have here is unaltered footage of Mikoshiba's murder.
That means it would qualify as evidence in Hara's appeal.
Exact.
Yeah, I'd say you have room to negotiate with the prosecution and the
Da,
judge.
putem folosi asta
At the
acum.
very least, it beats an internet copy with no origin.
Hey, think this'll be enough to win the trial?
Aproape.
Well, I can't guarantee that, but it does explain why Kawana-san took such a risk.
Da, asta arată că
The
ceea ce a
video
făcut
on
e
here
real.
is the sole original. That's why he'd only leave it in the hands of someone he trusted.
Damn, Kawana. De i-a dat cu băta tare peste deget, man. Cred și eu că i-a fi fracturat degetul, cine știe. Și au trecut 3-4 zile jocul ăsta de când s-a întâmplat toate.
Sure, but he had to know we'd turn it inside out first. Maybe it's Kawana-san's way of entrusting you with the evidence you need?
Probabil.
After all, with public security after him, he may not live to see tomorrow. And seeing how he's on the run, he had to find a way to get that into Ihara-san's hands. Which I think is why he left it all up to you, Yagamishi.
Then it's settled. It's about time I expose everyone involved in Mikoshiba's murder.
Yo, let's go!
Ihara, Kawana, and his students.
Mamă, îi dă în gât pe toți!
That's the first step to luring public security out in the open.
Oh, shit!
And I believe the SD card will make that possible.
Bro, îi dăm în gât pe toți?
So hey, looks like almost getting blown up was worth it.
Săraca tipă cu copilul ei cu tot. Oh. Oh, shit.
Hey, I'm sorry to bug you.
Matsu?
Asta e premieră?
I was talking to the MRC guys earlier. They said you'd be at this detective agency.
Oh, nu, cred că e folosit.
Everything okay?
Well, Akane started hanging out with some shady guys. So I figured I should talk to Yagami-san about this.
Oh?
Sounds like a tricky situation. Please, have a seat.
Uh-oh. Mamă, n-am sportat-o pe copila aia.
That girl you hung out with all the time, right?
Ugh, ce silă mi de ea să o văd și acum.
So, want to tell me more about these shady guys?
They're these thugs from Tokyo. RK, they're called.
Sigur.
They've been flirting with her.
Okay. What else?
They got her so comfortable she blurted out some stuff she probably shouldn't have.
Cum ar fi?
Stuff about you, Yagami-san.
Well, that's nothing I can't handle. But rolling with RK is bad news. She needs to stop. Their leaders are ex-Yakuza, you know.
I knew it. So they actually are dangerous then.
Yep.
What's really going on?
They asked Akane which student you cared about the most.
What?
Oh no!
So she...
Oh no, Koda!
Koda's name.
She did what?
Oh, that...
Even Akane knew she messed up. So she called me right after.
Oh my
Yagami-san,
god!
You've been mixed up with RK, right? You think they might go after Koda?
Da!
Can you try to get in touch with her?
Actually, I haven't been able to.
What about Akane?
Oh, right. Let me try and call.
Hello, Matsune?
Akane, where are you right now?
The last place Mikoshiba-sensei was.
Huh?
I'm with RK. We're at the building where Mikoshiba-sensei's body was found.
Why?
Matsune, are you with Yagami already?
What? How do you know about that?
It's Yagami. Is Koda-san there too?
She is.
Oh my god.
Yagami-san! It's me, Koda! Please, help me!
This Yagami? Come on over and we'll play. You know the place, right?
Who is this?
Not important. Better hurry, or else Kodo-chan will have to entertain us. Know what I mean?
Hey! Stop it! No!
Don't! What the hell do you want?
Come down and find out. Oh, I'm sure this goes without saying, but if you go to the cops, these girls are as good as dead.
Cine are nevoie de poliție? Am bătut și pe aia.
Understand what you're doing right now?
Better hurry.
What's happening?
Nu vrei să știi.
You stay here. Tsukumo.
I'll contact Kaito-san and Higashi-san for help. And I'll fly my drone out to the scene too.
Perfect. Counting on you.
Jesus Christ, dude. Putem să o lăsăm pe blonda aia tâmpită acolo? Unde e poliția în jocul ăsta? E legată cu mâinile la spate.
Hurry up or I'm leaving without you.
Da, frate, mă duc instant, ești turbat? Cum de nimeni nu vede drona aia?
Hey! He's here! It's Yagami!
Talk. This where those RK guys are holed up? He's Soma with them?
Nobody's had eyes on him yet. Just a sec. Tsukumo?
I've confirmed the enemy position, Yagami-shi. They have our 2 young hostages surrounded, so a head-on assault would be too dangerous.
Cui passa?
Naturally, I've already come up with some countermeasures we can run. Would you care to hear my plan?
You always come through, man. Okay then. Walk us through it.
Bro. Am bătut de Yakuza în jocul anterior. Valuri de inamici.
Look who decided to show up. Too scared to come without all your little bodyguard buddies?
Not like you've got room to talk. How many shitheads does it take to watch these girls?
Oh.
I never thought it would end up like this. You believe me, don't you?
O tașfă.
Yeah. But we'll have to save the lecture for after all this is over. You'll be free soon. That goes for you too, Koda-san.
You so sure about that?
Da. Huh?
You kidnapped them to get to me? Well, here I am, so let's go.
We did lure you here, so we can beat your sorry ass to death.
Okay, then. So what was your plan? Throw all these guys at us as soon as we kick down the door?
We're smarter than that, you know.
Oh.
Yeah. We knew you'd have some backup!
Oh, shit!
Here comes! Let's take out the trash! Yagami! Hands where I can see them! And same for you two!
Hey, calm down. I've got one more thing. I'm not a big fan of guns.
Huh?
Oh, schnitzel! Asta nu știa.
The wicked shall be smited and retribution shall be swift!
Nice! Yo, let's go!
You're dead!
Come on. Did you really think one gun was enough to take out a crew like us? If you did, you were wrong.
You two sit tight a little longer. But just to warn you, I'm gonna go hard on these guys. You wanna see some asses kicked? Don't blink, okay?
Let's get going.
Kai, tu ai 30 de ani, calmează.
Before the smoke clears.
Yeah. Come on!
Oh, mai vin băieți! Cum le ia pe amândouă? Ușor, mă, că duce în cap. Aoleu! Mamă! Mangiu! Ok, în sfârșit ne batem. Sup, boys?
Let's go.
Watch this. Get away from the window.
Mamă, dar stai că sunt prea multe atacuri deodată. Stai un pic, trebuie să facem o treabă aici. Sunt prea multe atacuri din toate direcțiile, deci trebuie să dăm și noi în toate direcțiile. Așa că... Oh, fuck. The fuck?
We are ready to go.
Ce-a fost aia?
We are ready to go.
Doamne, cât de mult damage dă ratatul ăla. Mamă, dar ce cu damage-ul ăstuia de s-a activat într-o dată Super Saiyanii din ei, frate? Ești nebun?
Here we go. We are ready to go. we go!
Ha? Tot nu înțeleg ce mișcare aia. Du, dar nici mă lasă să-i dau bloc, fii atent. Nu bloc, să-i dau counter. Asta mi se pare dubios, că nu mă lasă să-i dau counter.
Here we go! I shall assist you.
Așa, atâta, trebuie să mă duc departe de ei.
Here we go!
Atât? Mai e băiețașul cu... Pentru că sunt mai multe bări de viață, dar are viața de 2 ori. Plus că erau mai mulți mini-boși. No, Tiger nu era chiar așa grozav.
I'm so sorry.
Oh!
No, I'm the one who got you into this. It's not your fault, it's our case. But I'm next in line after them. Besides, I'm not the one you should be apologizing to.
Tu, exact. Spune scuze sau te arunc la băieți înapoi.
Coda, I'm really sorry. It's all right.
Oh.
Well, I'm gonna head home.
Oh, wow. Oh, nu el.
Soma.
What? Who?
Vino înapoi.
Connie, get back!
Huh?
Whew.
Here all by yourself? What are you trying to pull?
Oh, I'm just here to talk. To be honest, Kuwano's put us in kind of a tight spot.
Oh.
How so?
Well, he's got Kawai's body, Reiko Kusumoto's victim,
true.
hidden in a freezer, of all places. Been on ice for what, 5 years? You know about this, Yagami?
Oh, normal că știu.
Yeah.
Problem is, he's planning to reveal its location on the internet. If that happens, Kusumoto-san will be ruined.
No
doubt, her fingerprints and other traces are all over the damn corpse.
Stai mă, amprentele chiar există 5 ani în îngheț?
Means she won't have to listen to you.
Reiko Kusumoto is a capable woman who can swim with the tides. She's irreplaceable. It would be unfortunate to lose her over some lowlife she had to put down. She's on our side now, and she's accepted it.
So it's your duty to protect people like that?
I protect order, not people. Consider me a necessary evil.
Necessary evil?
That's right. If I hadn't gone undercover, the Tojo clan's ex-Yakuza would be spread all over by now. If that happened, we never would have been able to track their current activity. That's why I created the RK network. To keep Kamurocho's underground under control. Much safer and less messy than wiping them out indiscriminately. But in the shadow of order, there's always a pair of dirty hands.
Wow.
Right. Kuwana said something like that too.
But if there's one difference between the two of us, it's that I find my work enjoyable. It gives me purpose. When I dirty my hands, it's in the service of order. It goes back to a necessary evil to maintain peace in this country. In my eyes, Peace does require violence. It only works when killers are below the surface, keeping it afloat.
Sawa-sensei too? Is that the peace you want?
Yoko Sawa? She did have to die. She almost connected the Mikoshiba case to Kawana. She was getting very close to it. She may even have figured out Reiko Kusamoto was involved. The fewer people who know a secret, the better kept the secret stays. I don't remember even hesitating on that call. And I think that means... Well, you guys won't like hearing this, but it was justified.
You asshole!
Whoa, whoa. Don't fly off the handle now. I haven't finished what I had to say.
What the fuck?
Did I mention how much of a pain in the ass Kawana made this? He negotiated for your lives, using Kauai's body as leverage over us.
What?
So relax, would you?
Oh,
I
okay.
don't plan on killing you here.
Then why even show your sorry face?
The trial for Ehara-san is coming up, right? You know, the groping thing. I've come here with a request that I hope you'll consider.
Nope.
This from you?
Reiko Kusamoto's name is not to come up during the Ehara trial. That shouldn't be so hard, right?
Și ce pierdem noi?
Shirosaki-sensei would have to agree to this too.
And if we were to refuse?
Nothing. It's Kusamoto-san's request. She is asking nice.
What?
Huh?
A mother doesn't want her child branded a murderer's son.
Mă doare în 14 de
Could you
fisul.
give her that much?
I don't give a fuck.
And that's all. I'm sure we'll talk soon.
Dă-o măsa de
Think
egoistă.
so, huh? Why put off what we can settle now? Soma!
Da.
Akane!
Let's go!
Why am I...
Huh?
A paint gun.
What?
You okay?
Ah.
That son of a...
Well, hell, that's gotta hurt. But a bruise sure beats the alternative, right?
Yeah. Okay.
I'd say he got us good with that one.
Yeah. But that was a terrible call. If Soma hadn't been packing a paint gun, that would have been really bad. You two are more important than him. I should have prioritized protecting you.
Yagami-san.
You've been brave. I'm sure this was really scary for you. We'll need to do things one step at a time, Kaito-san.
Da, la mare bambuzul.
We can't tackle it all at once. First thing, Ehara's groping appeal needs to become a murder trial that outs Kawana and his students. That way, if public security is our real enemy here, we'll have the prosecution and the courts on our side. That'll be on me. I'll reveal a truth no one can deny.
Yeah. Well,
Păi am făcut înțelegere să nu omoare pe nimeni.
Send that asshole to jail for good.
You've got this, Yagami-san.
Whoa. This is crazy. Why is he so hot? Am I right?
Just a minute ago, she got shot. And now look at her.
Teenagers.
What the fuck? O lună mai târziu? Bruh!
Hello? Yeah, I'm getting ready now, sorry-san. Oversleep? I would never... Okay. Yeah. Alright, see you at the courthouse.
Îmi place că în ambele jocuri la final ajunge să folosim licența aia de mare avocat. Ia să vedem.
Held on violation of Shinjuku Station's anti-nuisance ordinance, the defendant of this appeal is active duty officer Akihiro Ihara. He was previously convicted and sentenced to 6 months. However, the defense wholly rejects the sexual battery charge and asserts his innocence.
The prosecution points to 2 pieces of evidence to prove the defendant guilty. One is the security camera footage from Ikebukuro to Shinjuku Station. The other is fiber traces from the victim's undergarments on the defendant's hand. The defense maintains this was not sufficient evidence to issue a guilty verdict. We have prepared counter-arguments to each piece of the prosecution's evidence.
How does the prosecution respond?
We maintain the original sentence was perfectly adequate.
Ok, Peter Parker, calmează-te.
Then first, let's examine the security footage from Ikebukuro and Shinjuku Station submitted at the first trial. This is footage of Ikebukuro Station on October 7th at 7:43 a.m. The individual wearing sunglasses and a mask is believed to be the defendant. This person remains in the area for over an hour, watching as countless trains make their stops. At 9:06 a.m., he locates the victim of this case, then he boards the train and pursues her. This footage of the station platform is from when the suspect and victim board the train car.
We already saw this during the first trial. Let's not be redundant.
Peter, calmează-te.
The victim claimed the defendant moved in a suspicious manner once the train left Ikebukuro Station, ultimately placing his hand under her skirt. After they arrived at Shinjuku Station 6 minutes later, the victim gathered her courage and grabbed his hand. However, there's a possibility the offender seen here is not the defendant himself, but a different person entirely, a stand-in. The goal was to disguise this event as an alibi for the murder which occurred in Yokohama that same morning. In other words, this instance of sexual battery was a conspiratorial fabrication. The original verdict was issued without taking this into consideration, resulting in an inadequate trial.
Damn, bro!
This is merely speculation. The defense has no proof to support these claims.
Precisely the issue.
Calmează-te,
Yes,
moșneagule.
there is indeed no definitive proof that confirms the existence of a stand-in. However, the notion itself cannot be disproved, even with all of the prosecution's evidence.
Would you care to elaborate, please?
Oh, da, eu intru în scenă.
Fled the train and was caught shortly after on the Shinjuku Station platform. Many nearby passengers filmed the scene, which then circulated throughout Japan. The impact may have been greater since the defendant was an active duty officer.
Oh, e ăla din primul joc!
There's no mistake that the man apprehended at the platform was the defendant. Upon arrival, station police arrested him and immediately performed a trace element inspection. With that said, there's a very real possibility the offender who ran off the train was an entirely different person, and we have the evidence to prove that.
Oh shit. Aici. Că e locul gol.
If you'll kindly look at this.
What is this? Displayed on the large monitor, please. Is that a diagram of Shinjuku Station?
Yep.
That's correct, Your Honor. First, the victim and the offender ran onto the platform as soon as the train doors opened. The train car they boarded is here on this map. We've marked the offender's route with an arrow. The lighter areas on the overhead view are within the security camera's line of sight. More people pass through Shinjuku than anywhere on Earth in a single day. It's packed with security cameras. However, this arrow with the dotted line reveals the existence of a small blind spot. That's where the defendant and stand-in swapped places.
I see. So you claim this was their opportunity?
Yep.
Yes. As such, I'd like to question the defendant once more over this evidence.
Oh shit. Foarte tare.
Defendant, when you were issued the verdict in your first trial, you said the following to the judge. In a warehouse about 3 days ago, a body turned up in Yokohama. If that wasn't enough, you correctly identified the body as Hiro Mikoshiba, despite the fact the police had yet to do so. How did you manage to pull off such a feat?
It came to me in a dream. Strange, I know.
Mikoshiba-san was your son Toshiro-kun's classmate, was he not?
That's right.
Toshiro Ihara was found dead in his apartment 4 years ago. He took his own life. Afterward, the defendant sued the school over Toshiro-kun's suicide.
Yes?
Ihara-san, can you tell us why you sued the school?
There were rumors my son had been bullied. Unfortunately, the court wasn't able to substantiate that claim.
And these rumors were discovered on the internet?
They were.
Of the bullies mentioned, Mikoshiba-san's name was among them.
Yep.
Were you aware of this?
I was.
Would you say you harbored murderous intent against Mikoshiba-san?
Objection. The defense's question is irrelevant. This case is to examine whether or not
Otaș, bă, Dorele.
took place.
Peter, please.
Also, the Kanagawa police are actively investigating Hiro Mikoshiba's murder. The courtroom is no place for baseless speculation.
How does the defense respond?
Ești un dobitoc.
The
Asta e
timing of
răspunsul
the
meu.
battery incident makes this case an alibi for Mikoshiba-san's murder. We believe there's a very relevant connection.
Very well. The prosecution's objection is overruled.
Please keep it brief.
Just as soon as the defendant answers the question. Did you harbor murderous intent for Hiro Mikoshiba?
N-ai de ales decât să zici da.
I did.
Opa.
In other words, Your Honor, it goes like this. On the day Toshiro-kun's bully, Mikoshiba-san, was killed, the defendant set out to synchronize the murder with sexual battery. It became his alibi for the murder, and the prosecution and the court all but approved it. A 6-month sentence for sexual battery and getting away with murder. That's all the motivation the defendant needed to fabricate this elaborate scheme. His stand-in groped his accomplice, and then they swapped places before getting caught. It's all entirely possible.
Then the defense should present some evidence to prove it.
Sigur.
Wrong. That's not how this works, is it? The prosecution bears the burden of proof in criminal cases. If we go through all the evidence and discover the possibility no groping took place, then it's on the prosecution to refute that.
Fine. Have it your way.
Care-s dovezile?
The defense's argument about the security camera's blind spot is flimsy at best. While the defendant was running, his female victim was chasing after him.
Oh, și acum o băgăm pe ea în oală.
Surely the victim would have seen if he had switched places with a stand-in. Yet the victim provided no such testimony.
The victim, Yui Mamiya, was an accomplice in the scheme.
Objection! This is an insult to the victim. Such claims harm the integrity of all women.
Taci, bă. What do I do? We have reasons to doubt the victim's credibility.
We have good reason to doubt the victim's credibility. She was all part of his plan. In fact, that's all but sure.
No.
A 50-something man separated from his wife was driven by loneliness to harassment. That seems much more likely.
The way you phrase that. Is the prosecution admitting the defense's claims aren't wholly impossible?
Beg pardon?
That would imply the guilty verdict from the first trial was issued without 100% certainty.
Oh shit.
Now you're just nitpicking.
Defense, if you claim to doubt the victim, then what is your reasoning?
Yes, we do.
Oh.
In actuality, she wasn't the only conspirator who helped stage the groping. The bystander who captured the defendant, the witness who recorded the incident on his smartphone. Both men, in conjunction with the victim, were classmates from the same high school. Which means, strange as it sounds, that these seemingly unrelated individuals were in fact all acquaintances. It's clear that this was a carefully organized and planned event.
God damn!
Our investigation discovered they all graduated from Kurokawa Academy in Tokyo 13 years ago. Additionally, Yoko Sawa, the teacher who was killed in Ijincho, graduated from the same class. 4 years ago, she was the teacher of the defendant's son, Toshiro-kun.
Mamă, cum se leagă toate, ia auzi.
We believe this indicates a connection between the Kurokawa Academy graduates and this case.
Of course, that's as deep as we need to go on that. We've simply presented the possibility that multiple conspirators were present when the defendant was apprehended. And as long as such a possibility exists, the defense asserts the defendant cannot be.
Nu, dar asta n-ar merge, Irele, mă jur, sunt prea niște detalii fantastice.
May I speak?
What is it?
I haven't committed murder. Per my conviction, I am just a pervert who victimized a woman on the train. Everything else is in the defense's imagination.
Hai să-i dăm cu cardul, boys.
Defendant, why did you agree to this appeal then?
You can ask my lawyers that. I simply didn't stop them.
Stai că îi dăm acum.
How does the defense respond?
It's just as the defendant says. However, we believe his recollection may be a bit fuzzy. To refresh his memory, I'd like him to take a look at some footage. Will you permit this, Your Honor?
Now what?
But please, don't display this on the large monitor. We shouldn't shock the public. It's footage of a murder.
Excuse me, wasn't that denied as evidence?
As I said, this is solely to refresh your memory. It's up to the judge whether or not we show it.
Please proceed.
That's just internet footage with no known origins.
No.
No. This footage is from the SD card in the camera used to record it. This is a write once, read many card, also known as a worm. The police use it to photograph evidence. Anything recorded on it is highly reliable data. After serving your time, you intended to release this.
Oh shit, i-am dat cu planul în cap.
But Kawana can't wait for that to happen. And that's why he left it in my care.
Don't kill me. Please. I'm sorry. Toshiro-kun. I'll make it up to him. I'll atone for it. I swear I'll try to make it up to him somehow. I'll spend the rest of my life making up for it. Stop it! Stop it! Stop it! Stop it! Stop it!
I-am dat-o.
Defendant, in that footage, is the person in the white raincoat you?
N-ai ce să mai zici.
You could say it looks like me.
The person you killed is Hiro Mikoshiba. According to the autopsy report, he died sometime after 7:30 a.m. on October 7th. Therefore, it can only be that the person who passed through the ticket gate shortly after at 7:43 a.m. was not you, but your stand-in. As the defense, we cannot allow our client's conviction of sexual battery to stand in light of this footage. May we continue questioning the defendant?
How does the prosecution respond?
Ce să mai zică?
Even if the footage has an irrefutable source, that alone does not prove guilt of murder.
Cum?
I'd just like to state that in advance.
Frate, e un
So the
video.
prosecution is denying the murder? Remind me who exactly is defending me here?
Good question.
The defense repeatedly mentions a stand-in, but where is this person currently? Who even are they?
Oh.
The person on the station security footage was wearing sunglasses, but he looked just like the defendant.
We believe he used a mask made from a 3D printer. If you look closely, the alleged defendant at Ikebukuro Station and on the train does not move his mouth at all. We learned this from sources who may have been the stand-in and the collaborators.
Then we should call them to the stand to testify.
No need. The defendant should know all of this already.
I don't know anything about it.
Oh, nu știu nimic despre asta.
He said he doesn't know. So what now? The defendant admitted to sexual battery, not murder. The murder footage has excellent production value, but nothing else corroborates the defense's claims.
Your Honor, I would like to request further witness testimony from the victim.
Denied.
Da.
Both the defendant and the victim certified the validity of the battery, leaving no room for discrepancies. It would be unprecedented for a victim to testify further in this situation.
By that logic, there's no precedent for using battery as an alibi for murder either.
I will admit there is a possibility, but not enough to justify subjecting the victim to further distress in court. I must once again deny the request.
But...
Defense, I've made myself clear.
Your Honor, following the defendant's last statement, we have a few more questions.
Understood. Please proceed.
What's next?
Harsan, you're
Complicat
familiar with
deja,
Jin
nici nu știu să mă
Kuwana,
aleg.
aren't you? He's a handyman in Ijincho.
Nope, never heard of him.
On October 7th, Kuwana disguised himself as you and boarded a train in Ikebukuro bound for Shinjuku Station. He was the stand-in for the sexual battery mentioned earlier.
Cine de obicei publică un gen ăsta
No evidence has been submitted to verify that statement.
de nebunii?
The name Kuwana was not present on any documentation, nor was the prosecution notified.
Kuwana is the very person who encouraged the defendant to murder Mikoshiba-san.
Defense, as the prosecution has stated, no one by the name of Kuwana is known to the court. We've not even confirmed if he exists. Please refrain from this line of questioning.
Okay.
But, Your Honor, without him, Ahara-san never... Am I getting through to you?
I don't know a Kuwana.
No, Kuwana's the one who fanned the flames of vengeance.
Reporter,
You do well to
familie.
remember that.
Dacă în caz că e ceva frumos, e cam atâta? Ah, ok. What can prove Kuwana? Oh! Had contact in the past. A recording between Sawa Sensei and Kuwana. Asta e singura legătură.
Take a listen to this.
What is it?
It wasn't just some random internet post that made you decide to kill Mikoshiba-san, was it? Even while battling the school in court, you still didn't know for sure who pushed Toshiro-kun to his death. That's when Kuwana came to you with this recording, right?
Hmm? That's... Why do you...
I-am dat în cap.
Toshiro-kun came running to the roof. His face was pretty swollen. And a few minutes later, a student named Mikoshiba came up looking for him. I'll never forget the fear I saw in Toshiro-kun's face.
That's the voice of Yokosawa, the teacher Toshiro-kun confided in about being bullied 4 years ago. It was recorded in secret and played for the defendant by Kuwana.
He told me about everything. The teasing, the beatings, the theft. Till nobody was on his side. And yet, I had to deny all this in front of an entire courtroom.
Oh,
Believe
shit.
me, I never wanted to do that. They said there was no hope. That I was the only witness with no proof whatsoever.
After hearing this, the defendant came to believe Mikoshiba-san's unchecked aggression toward Toshiro was the driving force behind his son's tragic suicide. And ultimately, this became his motivation for murdering Mikoshiba-san.
Bine, nu numai bullying-ul a fost motivația pentru ăla să
Isn't
se
that right,
sinucidă.
Hara-san? Is it coming back to you yet?
Afraid not.
I see.
Then, is that all? Can the defense please get back on track?
This recording only came into my hands by means of Kawana. Except, thinking about it now, much like the murder footage, that would qualify as an unreliable source, wouldn't it?
What?
We live in an age where audio and video footage can be fabricated and easily reproduced.
What are you getting at?
Sawa-sensei, the one speaking in the recording, was murdered only days ago. And the one who recorded it, Kawana, disappeared without a trace. Meaning that as far as this recording is concerned, no one is left who can prove that it's authentic to the court.
Deci, what?
Or is my understanding incorrect? You would say you're completely unaware of the details about your son in this recording. Kawana had it. Didn't he play it for you?
I never heard it. Regardless of the content, it has nothing to do with me.
So you say. In that case, let's just assume then that Kawana and I are the only ones in possession of this audio recording. And considering that Kawana has all but vanished without a trace, that would actually make this the only copy, and me the sole owner. No backup exists.
What are you getting at?
This has no value in this courtroom, then I'm afraid it's never gonna have a value beyond today. And being that you claim it's unrelated to you or this case, then it wouldn't bother you if I were to delete it from my phone right here and now.
Why would... That's crazy. I wouldn't!
Okay. Then tell me why I should.
A apăsat pe butoanele corecte.
Because Mikoshiba was a man who should never have escaped being judged. That's the proof of my son's pain. The proof that everyone ignored. That recording is all I have left of him! I took the school to court because Toshiro deserved justice. But all they could say is that the cause of his suicide couldn't be determined.
Damn.
In the end, not a single person was held responsible.
Mama, știu de unde să-l tragă, frate.
No proof, no justice. My son was hung out to dry.
Yes. That's all true.
All of you. You're all so incompetent. You see yourselves as these paragons of law and justice. Yet the truth slips right through your fingers. And then, my alibi made you a mockery. I made it so real. You passed me off as just another
S-a pișat pe ei. S-a pișat pe ei.
You were gullible. Every single one of you. Toshiro threw his life away and justice was blind to his pain. Mikoshiba walked free because of you. You condone murder and call yourselves the law. That's why I did it. I took Mikoshiba's life with my own hands.
Mamă, s-au panicat băieți. S-a terminat distracția.
Remember that pervert cop? Turns out he's actually a murderer. Holy shit. To recap, you killed Hiro Mikoshiba in Ijincho, then headed to Shinjuku Station where you and Kawana pulled off a switch. And there you were ultimately arrested as a groper.
Yeah. That's right.
Defendant, you bear animosity for the whole system. We can't just take your words at face value. If you're responsible for Mikoshiba-san's murder, can you bring forward any evidence, or just the murder footage?
Are cuțitul acasă.
To tell you the truth, I have something that I was holding on to for the impact that it would have. It's very real evidence that the law has failed us.
What have you been hiding then? Will it prove you killed Mikoshiba?
Yes.
E cuțitul.
Then what is it?
E cuțitul.
If you go to my wife's apartment, you'll find my son's altar there. In it, you'll find the weapon I used for the crime, the knife I murdered him with. It still has Mikoshiba's blood on it.
Wait a minute, Genda-sensei. I prayed at that altar.
Well, I guess you can lead a horse to water.
Very well then. We'll open an investigation.
Defense. Will there be anything further?
No, e ok, bro, am terminat aici, ne auzim mâine.
No matter how justified, vengeance is not something we can ever take into our own hands. That said, in the case of Ahara-san, our system failed him. We know the law strives to be just.
Oh shit.
But it failed to prove Toshiro-kun was bullied. That's not justice. Not when no one is held responsible. The law, as well as those who enforce it, are far from perfect. So to the court, I say let this case be a lesson. The law is failing to save people who need saving.
Damn, săracu.
It's clear proceedings should be adjourned. At a later time when Mikoshiba-san's murder weapon is recovered, we can resume the trial. I'm willing to do that via a special exception. Defense, prosecution, is that clear?
No objections.
The defense rests, Your Honor.
Damn. Dacă sistemul de justiție nu era așa de fapt,